Hey everyone, this is Ryan from the Sacramento Pokemon League. I'm here to show off my Arceus Goodra list. So here we go. So first we start off with the main guy, one of the main guys. Start off with Arceus. We don't want to use Power Edge, but we're mainly looking at the Trinity charge attack. So most times you just want to attach a double turbo, and you can just double turbo and go Trinity charge onto our Goodras. I'm just going to sneak in Arc VSTAR. Arc VSTAR has the attack for 3 colorless energy. Trinity Nova, it can swing for 200, most likely 180 because you're going to double turbo it. And then it allows you to attach 3 energy to any of your V Pokemon. That can be Arceus and also Goodra, which we are talking about right now. I'm going to move these guys to the side. Starbirth, Starbirth, very useful. I don't use it that often because my main goal is to use Goodra. V doesn't really matter. It's more just a body. Hold on. Goodra VSTAR. That's the actual guy we care about. Rolling Iron, the main point of the attack, main point of the deck, does 200. And next turn, if your opponent tries to attack you, they have to minus 80 damage beforehand. So, Arceus, for example, normally does 200 as his damage number. So it'd actually be hitting 120. If they have a double turbo, that number gets even lower. It goes down to 100. It can even be lowered even further with Radiant Gardevior, which makes it so any V Pokemon that attacks, their damage gets lowered down by 20 damage. So literally for Arceus, that attack that we were just talking about can go down to 100 normally or 80 if they have a double turbo. So it does crazy low damage. Most of the time you're one Goodra by itself just swinging. So you can create situations like if last format there were a lot of Palkias, so you would just be one Goodra versus the world, and you would just be going swing, swing, and they, even with their full bench, weren't able to hit you for that much. All right, next up are the supporters. So this deck plays a lot of supporters. There's no draw engine, so it's a lot more based around draw good forehead. That's really the whole deck. So we play 4 Chorus. Chorus, literally, we don't play Lost Zone cards. We only play Chorus because it says look at the top 5 cards. Looking at the top 5 cards is very important. It just allows you to dig deeper, search for cards like you need. That's really it. You don't use it for Lost Zone mechanics or whatsoever. Next up is Marnie. We play 3 for hand disruption purposes. You could bump it up to 4. I don't like 4. But yeah, hand disruption is super important in this format because we do play Path, so having some version of Marnie Path is very important. Because sometimes you just Marnie Path people and they just like, well, I can't play the game. Next up is Melanie. Melanie's super important. We play 2 copies. Melanie's super important because you can set up turn 2 Arc Trinity Nova charge combos. So let's say you didn't attach last turn to Arceus. If you have some way of being able to discard a water energy, you could search for Melanie. Melanie attach to Arceus V or VSTAR. You do that, then it only needs its double turbo, and then you can use Starbirth to search for double turbo. So it's a really easy way to just guarantee your Trinity Novas. Also, if you brick really bad, you can use it on Goodra and just start kind of manually attaching to Goodra. I had a game where my opponent did not kill my active Pokemon, and I was just manually attaching for 4 turns, and Soren flamed the shit out of me. Next up, Boss's Orders. It's Boss. There's nothing more to say. Just hit. Actually, there is something to say, so let me get it. Goodra does 200, so if your opponent plays like less tanky Vs, such as Crobat and Lumineon, this card is just great to go and try to snipe. When you think about it, Lugia plays usually on average 2 Lumineon, so those are 2 prizes that you can get away with really easily. Yep, and that's about it. You can also just stall with Boss, which I did do one time during a match. Ultra Ball. Search for a card. Discard 2, search for a card. Nothing more to say. We play 3 Quick. Quick is just discard a card, search for a basic. That's kind of it, really. There's nothing like too crazy about the ball search cards. Oh. Also 2 Evo, but yeah. Nothing too crazy on our ball search count. I think this is the normal amount for these types of lists because you're able to do that. Because Arceus can also just grab you what you need. 2 switch cards. If you start Goodra, you need the switch cards to get out. of the active. I've had games where I've prized, when I was playing Arc Duraludon, where I've prized 2 switch cards, so don't do that. Just don't do that. You need to play Big Parasol, so I play 2. These are basically your outs to the Yveltal, because if they're able to Yveltal kill you, well, that means that you have lost 2 prizes, and they are only hitting you with a 1 prize attacker. So you play the Parasol to prevent getting auto-killed by that card. Next up, 4 Hyper Potions. Most lists now are usually running 2 to even 3 Hyper Potions, that's all. They don't run 4. I like 4. It just means I'm more likely to draw it during the game, so I can do stuff like, if you don't know, the cheese is usually you're going to be using 1 double turbo for Arceus, so that will be gone, but you have 3 double turbos that are basically just dead weight. But what you can do is you can attach the double turbo, then use Hyper Potion, just fully heal, not fully heal, but heal 120, and then do that over and over again. I skipped, so I'm going to put back the Hyper Potions. Not Hyper Potion, the Trinity Novas. Double Turbo, jeez Louise. Pokegear, it's literally just a dead card. Like, Pokegear obviously grabs you any supporter that you need if they're at the top 7, so that's what it's used for. But really, you could replace this with the Trekking Shoes. It's almost like an Upstart, if you know what that is. It's just a card just to have in the deck. You can replace it literally with anything if you feel like it's not needed. I play 1 Ordinary Rod, mainly for Mew matchup. The Mew matchup where they can Echo Horn and grab whatever they need. So instead, what you can do is you can just shuffle it back so they can't boss Echo Horn, cheese you, and take like easy prizes that way. We play 2 Crystal Cave and 2 Path. The Paths are used for Marnie Path, obviously, and also just slows down the game. There are a lot of times when you Starbirth and then you can just Path them, or if you want to, you can just play Path, and if they out it, you're just able to use your Moisture Star. Crystal Cave is just heal 30, just every turn, so that's just super useful. Next up is Energy. We play 4 Double Turbo. Just good for getting energy on the board. Like I talked about earlier, you can just use it for Hyper Potion healing, but also it's good for Arceus because it charges it up in 1 turn, so you can use Trinity Charge, or you can do the Melanie combo and use it in 1 turn for Trinity Nova. Metal, mainly just here because we need it to use the attack of the Goodra. Just 4 metal. Really doesn't, there's no like secret things we can do with it, so that's about it. That's why we play only 4. We play 5 water. Oh, nope, I lied. We play 6 water. Wow, okay. We play 6 water. We're able to reuse it with Melanie, so that's why we play so many. That's really about it. Water's just super good because we can, once again, if we need to, we can turn 1 Trinity Nova charge, do cheesy stuff like that. I might cut down to 5 water because you can obviously reuse it with the 2 Melanie, so there's not really a need for that many, but also just having the energy in hand is really nice. So yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the other socials that we have in the description below, and we'll see you at Locals.